This podcast is all about saving you money when detailing your car.
I'm Ivan.
I'm Nick.
And this is the DIY Detail Podcast. Today we're going to cover several money-saving tips that will make your detailing easier, more profitable if you're a professional, less expensive if you're doing it at home, and probably more fun.
Well, when this rolled into the studio, I thought the number one way to save money is never to wash your car.
Right. This is proof. But do you want to drive around in something that looks like that? And no, actually, this will cost you more in the long run because your car is worth less when you trade it in. If it looks like this, it's not good value for a trade-in.
We've heard that one before.
Yeah.
Some people buy it, some people don't, Ivan, that your car is worth more if you take care of it.
A great example, bring something to a dealership, one of those buy it, they'll buy any car sort of place, get them to value it, then detail it, bring it back the next week and see how much they value it then.
It's really easy to do a quick wash, hopefully a decon, a one-step polish before you trade it in.
Yeah.
And that one-step polish at the end, even if it's just with a palm sander, right? Whatever you've got at home,
yeah.
Put a yellow waffle pad, gold standard polish on there, you will notice a big difference in the trade-in value. It's gonna impress the person you're talking to enough that it's just gonna change their mind. We're dealing with people here, right?
Right, exactly.
And that's gonna skew them more toward it's in really good condition.
We're human beings, we like shiny things.
That's very true.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, wash your car. If you don't wash it, you'll save money. I got it. But seriously, news you can use. What is some other tips you have, Ivan, to save people money when they're detailing?
Follow the manufacturer's instructions.
Use less product?
Yeah.
Then, because I mean, it's always like less is more. That's your message, but most people think more is more.
Right.
One spray of the trigger.
One spray.
Have you ever seen anyone actually do one spray when you tell them to?
Most detailers, you say do one spray and they'll be on video. This guy is an example, and we have many others that they're sitting there and doing, one spray.
Well, when
Four sprays later.
When you're looking, it's one spray. When
Yeah.
you're not, it's like, okay, let me just use half the bottle
Yeah.
here and see what happens. Because it's fun.
It's fun, but it's what's costing you money. And if you're a professional, dive it into your head, ram it into the heads of your employees that less is more. And a lot of the time, with 90% of the chemicals on the market, less is more.
So in terms of saving money, if you're using rinseless wash, you've got 1 ounce of concentrate.
Yeah.
It's a concentrated product in 2 gallons of water.
Yeah.
That dilution, and a lot of you have heard this before, but DIY, enthusiast. I mean, the amount of people in this country who have a car,
Right.
who've never heard of any of this stuff, so we're talking to you as well. If you're new to detailing and you just want to take care of your own car, the concentrate for rinseless wash is such a value. You can clean your windows, you can clean the exterior, you can clean your interior, you can clean your kitchen countertops, your bathroom. Like, to me, if anyone's gonna buy one product from it, it's like, just try the rinseless wash.
Definitely.
Do it the way we teach.
Yeah.
It's a game changer.
Right. And for those of you that aren't in the US, it's 4 milliliters to a liter. But yes, extremely concentrated. Another one that's extremely concentrated is Incredible Suds. And this is one we have to comment on a lot because people go, oh, your soap is too expensive. In the foam cannon, we suggest putting in 1 ounce, not 2, not 3, 1 ounce. So yes, it's a little more expensive when you purchase it, but it's a lot less expensive per use.
Absolutely.
Because there's some chemicals out there that will have you putting up to 16 ounces in a 32 ounce foam cannon.
Are you serious?
Yes.
16 ounces?
16 ounces.
I mean, it sounds like something I think would be fun to try, but the entire bottle of our product going into a foam can seems
Right.
like a
Yeah.
very thick shaving cream disaster.
For us, yes.
Yeah.
But for other soaps that are less expensive, they're having you putting 2 or 3 ounces in your wash bucket, whereas we put half an ounce, one capful.
I think most people get it, right? A lot
Yeah.
of us want to ball on a budget, right? We're counting every cent. But you get the idea of value versus the cheapest thing.
Exactly.
If you've been around long enough, you're not always going for the cheapest thing. You're like, what will provide actual value?
Yeah, cost per use is something, especially if you're a professional, you need to learn how to figure out. And when you're looking at the price of the bottle, that is not your cost per use. Your cost per use is how much does it actually cost me to do what I need to do on this vehicle. And one of the best examples we have, Incredible Suds is great, but it's all clean. A lot of multi-purpose or all-purpose cleaners on the market, and they're a more aggressive cleaner than a soap or a rinseless wash. So you don't use a lot of it, but when you need to, we like to use it on wheels and tires and different areas like that. most of them on the market, you dilute 1 to 1, 2 to 1, maybe 4 to 1. We dilute ours 15 to 1. So let's say you got a really, really good one that is 5 to 1 dilution ratio. That means you'd have to use 3 gallons of theirs for 1 gallon of ours. Or actually 2 gallons of it. Yeah, 3 gallons of theirs for 1 gallon of ours.
Well, because we recommend a 15 to 1 dilution on wheels and tires, never on an interior at that dilution.
No,
so if
30
you use
to 1
all
inside.
clean on an inside,
Yeah.
which you never even recommend.
No.
You say just keep all clean out of the interior.
It's a last ditch effort. Don't start with that. And that's another money saving tip. Use the least aggressive first. Because a lot of times on the interior, your rinseless wash diluted 256 to 1 will do everything you need it to do. So you don't need to step up to an all clean that's diluted 30 to 1. Or you don't need to use a dedicated interior cleaner that's very difficult. You can do different things. And all that is saving you money.
It is saving you money. Another thing that saves you money, we're going to put a link in the description below because it's a great video and a lot of people have watched it. It's how to use less iron remover.
Right.
This is the most expensive product in our line.
Right, other than a ceramic coating.
Other than ceramic coating. But like iron remover, I don't care what brand you buy it from, is not a cheap product. It's the raw ingredients, right?
Yeah,
Ivan?
the raw ingredients are very expensive. And actually the manufacturing of it is, because if you don't like the smell of it in a little 16-ounce bottle, imagine what it smells like in a 1,000-gallon vat.
It must be a smelly
that day in the factory, people are not happy. Therefore, we teach a way to use it that to completely decontaminate this vehicle behind us with iron remover, we're using less than 1 ounce.
Hard to believe.
Right. So we're using, if you buy it in a gallon, that's under $1 to do this. A lot of people with a 16-ounce bottle will go through 8 to 10 ounces.
And you justify it because you're trying to really decontaminate the paint, get all the above surface contaminants away so you have real smooth clear coat before you polish your ceramic coat.
Right.
I mean, folks out there may not have even heard of iron remover, Ivan.
No.
So I'm just trying to say, why are they using it in the first place?
Right, so iron remover is actually a wrong name. It should be called a rust converter. But we're not the oldest people in this industry. Well, I am, but anyways, the company isn't the oldest ones in the industry. And
it's also a young industry.
It is. It's
fairly speaking. So for you to be someone who's been doing this for decades, like that does make you one of the oldest in the industry because it doesn't take long. And if you're just getting into detailing, you may not know this yet, but every few years, a new crop of people gets really enthusiastic about detailing and they don't know anything and they get really excited and they go and buy every product under the sun and they continue to learn. And if you're one of them, like we're just grateful that you're here. And hopefully we can earn your trust and you'll stay here because I was the guy who bought from one brand and then another brand and it's fun. I was a YouTuber.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's really fun to try all that. But you can burn yourself out chasing the unicorn product when I think it's better to find a product line that works with a team that you trust. And we're here to answer questions. So anyway, what I'm saying is that's my journey. I understand it. Yeah. So that's why I bring that up.
Exactly. So as I was saying, the industry calls it iron remover. It's not iron remover, it's rust stain remover. Because if you were to take a rusty nail, put it in your iron remover, don't try it at home, it's a very expensive experiment. But what happens is the metal stays intact, but the rust gets dissolved. So a rust dissolver would be a better term than an iron remover. But we call it iron remover because that's what the industry wants to call it, and we carry on with that tradition. But it's a very expensive product. Another thing that's misnamed is a clay bar. There is no clay in a clay bar.
A clay towel is the way you've probably heard it described in the industry. Ours is called a perforated synthetic decontamination towel. And if you take care of this thing, it will last you hundreds of washes.
Right, whereas a clay bar, you drop it on the ground, you throw it in the garbage. A clay bar, you do 2-3 cars, maybe at most, you're throwing it in the garbage. The perforated synthetic decontamination towel lasts a long time. So yes, the initial purchase price is a little higher than a clay bar, but you'll go through 1 clay towel instead of 50 clay bars.
And combined, iron removers, lubrication, decontamination towel or PSD towel if you want to call it that, or fine grade clay towel is the way it's listed on the website. Using that with iron removers, the lube, 95% of vehicles, it's perfect.
Exactly.
And there's some overspray situations, some horrible contamination situations where you may need a clay bar, but you're going to have to polish after.
Exactly.
So have a clay bar around if you want, but try this Decon towel. It will save you money.
Exactly. And
Especially
time.
if you're detailing for money. This is for pros out there.
Exactly.
But the enthusiast, I mean, should they have a Decon towel, you think?
Definitely. It's a minimal investment, and it's something that's going to make your car last longer, look better. It makes it easier to decontaminate. We have people asking us, can I use it every week? They're having so much fun using it. And yes, you can if you want to.
I put it in my wash bucket because I like it for bug guts on the windshield.
Exactly.
To me, it's just an easier way to shave them off.
Yep.
After my wash process.
Right.
Before I rinse it off with a pressure washer.
Yep.
But after the contact wash.
Yeah.
Because maybe my contact wash didn't get all the bug guts.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, so that's where I love it every wash. And then if I see something like something fell on my paint,
right,
or there's some kind of bird dropping it or something, it's a way for me to just lightly go after it and just kind of see where I'm at.
Yeah.
You know, the longer you use it, the more you know kind of how it works and what no pressure really feels like. And sometimes I just want to see where I'm at when I notice something on my hood. I've had my car for like 5 years, so I know everything that's going on there. When it's something new, I'm like, You know, I'll try with the washman if it doesn't move, maybe the Decon towel, and then it's like, all right. You know, but so that's one way to use it.
Right.
As a more frequent usage.
Right, and now you mentioned the clay bar that you have to polish afterwards, because the clay bar is an abrasive. The PSD towel, there's no abrasive. Polishing, that's something that's expensive. You have to buy tools, you have to buy pads, you go through pads, you have to buy polish. You can do it on a very, very tight budget. We can get you polishing a whole car for under $100, tool included.
I've never heard you say that before. Talk to me.
Well, you can go and buy a random orbital sander, 5-inch random orbital sander. The least expensive one I found today while Googling was $20.
Yeah.
So there's $20.
You could spend more than that. I'm not going to say more is better. We've played around with a few sanders from Menards, Harbor Freight, Home Depot.
Yeah.
I think the cheaper ones are actually my favorite.
My favorite one is the one we picked up at Menards. It's a no-name brand.
Yeah.
I never heard of it. It's red and black. It's, you know, if you're in the Midwest, go to Menards. It's $20, $19.99. We have a few from Harbor Freight. They were on sale at $19.99, so it's equivalent.
They're fine.
They're fine, but that
the Menards one was good. So we picked it up.
Yeah.
I'll never forget 2 garages ago.
Yeah.
Actually, it's this garage, but we've revamped it so it feels like 2 shops.
Yeah.
It was our original shop. Before we had anything on the wall, we had like a tarp. This was like the first time we ever filmed.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how are we going to teach a polishing system?
Yeah.
We don't have polishers. And sure enough, you're like, just use a palm sander. We went to Menards. I'm like, what dark wizard magic is this?
Yeah.
And it actually worked. And I was like, oh, we're in for a ride, Ivan.
Right.
The people are ready for what's coming.
So with that, we add a pad. Now, the wool pad to me is, on the palm sander, probably my favorite pad, but the gold standard pad is a great pad as well.
Why do you like the wool pad on the sander?
A little more cut. And because of the short stroke of the palm sander, still gets a great finish. We don't have the micro marring happening.
You say short stroke of the palm sander. What does that mean for folks out there who don't know?
So if you look at a palm sander, or if you look at a rotary, the pad just turns, does nothing but turning. And then when you go to a random orbital or dual action, depending on how you're calling it that day, because the industry, again, weird terms, they play around with it. But a dual action means it's going around, but it's also oscillating. And that oscillation is normally measured in millimeters. So the most palm sanders will have either a 5/32 or 1/8 or 2 or 3 millimeter offset or oscillation. When we get into polishers dedicated for paint correction, the most common one and the one that started this whole DA thing is an 8 millimeter. And then you have some that are 9, you have some that are 12, you have some that are 15, you have some that are 21. Ours is 25 because I like to use dual action for correction if I'm going for a long stroke machine. So 15 and up is considered long stroke.
The longer stroke, the higher the number next to the mm or millimeter orbit, the higher that number, the more this thing is going to cut for you to remove defects and try to get the jagged scratches out of your clear coat.
But back to our under $100.
The palm sander has a very low number on that.
Right. So the palm sander is $20. You have the machine. Now we need to put a pad on it. And our most expensive 5-inch pad, because they're all 5-inch pads, is $18. That's our wool pad.
A dual action sander is going to have a 5-inch backing plate.
Right, exactly.
So you're going to want one of our 5.5-inch or 5.5-inch pads. If they're looking online, everyone who's new, I know this,
exactly,
I know this feeling is like, tell me exactly what I need. So I'm just trying to explain that to them.
So our wool pad or our gold standard waffle pad, which is around $15. So right now we're still under $50.
Just for the liquid and the pad.
No, the tool and the pad.
Okay,
so actually we're under $40.
Yeah.
Then we have the gold standard polish. The gold standard polish is $29 at the time of this recording. So again, not that expensive. And the gold standard polish has another big, extremely large money-saving feature to it that people don't realize.
One spray of the polish is all that we teach, right? On a moving pad, you've cleaned it, and one spray. It's gotta be a firm trigger pull, folks.
Right.
This is the way we really love you to do it. Like spreads like thousands of droplets on the pad.
Right.
And one spray is equal to one of those pea-sized drops. And when you see people apply polish out there, you've seen this online, maybe you've done it yourself, it's like 4 pea-sized drops on the pad.
Or 5 or 6.
More,
or
right?
a smiley face.
So think about that. That's just for one like 2x2 working section.
Exactly.
So we're at what? A quarter of the price of most polishes if you look at it long term?
If you're looking again at cost per use. People look at our polish and go, oh, $30 for a 16-ounce bottle. Well, that 16-ounce bottle will do at least 20 cars. And a lot of people are, when we first say that, they're like, it's impossible. I go through a 32-ounce bottle in 5 cars. Well, guess what? Yeah, that's right, you are. That's about average 5 or 6 cars for a 32-ounce bottle. And we're doing, 10, 12, 20 cars easy with a 16-ounce bottle. I'd never use 1 ounce of polish on a whole car.
This is something you truly believe in.
Yes.
I see you off camera. I see you on camera. There's no one like Ivan. Very unique personality. You believe in less product, saving money, efficiency, no wasted energy, no wasted money. Like, you joked about it a long time ago, and you still like to say, I'm cheap and I'm lazy.
Yeah.
That's true, and that's passed on to you.
Right.
So it may sound like a big sales pitch, but I tell you from the bottom of my heart, you really believe in this.
Yeah.
You want to make detailers profitable. You want to save folks money out there. Obviously, we have a business to run, but it's like, you believe in this so much that I want you to know this is real from Ivan.
Now, and the other way of saving money with polishing is keeping your pad clean. A lot of companies will have you buy 6, 10, 12 pads to polish your car. You really don't need to do that. 1 pad is all you need, and you can get multiple cars, but that is cleaning your pad on a regular basis. And all you really need to clean your pad is something to put the pad in. So even a dish, like a pie dish, would be perfect. You put it in, you dunk it, so you can't put the whole tool in, you just have enough to get the pad a little damp, massage the pad, get a bucket, spin it out in the bucket, because if not, you're gonna be spraying the cleaning solution everywhere. And the cleaning solution is rinseless wash diluted 256:1.
That you dip it in the pie tray?
Right.
But the question people have is like, I get that rinseless wash emulsifies things and encapsulates, but isn't all that gunk just gonna get back into my pad? Like, how is that really cleaning the pad when I dip it in there?
Well, you're dipping it in the solution, then you're massaging it off of that. So you're putting clean solution in it, or you can put it in a spray bottle if you want.
You could.
Rinseless wash in a spray bottle, spray it in the pad, massage it a little bit, then spin it out. If you're cleaning your pad on a regular basis, and there's an easy way to remember when to clean your pad. Never put clean polish on a dirty pad. So when it's time to add more polish to your pad, is it clean? No, I need to clean my pad.
It'll be tempting to not clean it and just to be like, I think I can get another section out of this pad. It doesn't look too dirty. One more spray.
That's what wears out your pads fast.
Really? I just thought it was going to leave a worse finish.
Well, it leaves a worse finish too.
Yeah.
But it also wears out your pad fast. As soon as you're gumming up that pad, you're creating more heat. Heat is bad for the paint. It's also really bad for the pad. So by cleaning the pad, you're cooling it because you're using liquid. You've cooled it. It's clean. You don't have any residue. We polished a red Ferrari the other day, and that red Ferrari was single stage paint because Ferraris from the 80s and 90s were still using single stage paint. The Corso, the red is actually better as a single stage, but we digress here. But anyways, the pad gets red as soon as you touch it to the paint. With clear coat, you're getting the exact same amount of transfer, it's just we don't see it. So that builds up in the pad, it creates heat, it clogs the pores. Now your pad isn't working as well, so now you're having to work harder, work further, and you're not getting the result. So taking the 30 seconds to clean your pad saves you time.
I didn't realize it also makes the pad last longer.
Yeah. We've been making a lot of videos with these pads, and we still have pads that we're using that were our initial prototypes. And how many videos have we done with these pads? And no, we don't just polish one side of the car and drive it away. These are actually people's cars that we're using. So when we polish it, we polish the whole thing. So we've polished hundreds of cars at this point.
Yes, we have.
And
yes, we have.
Still using the same pads. So your pad's gonna last a long time. So there isn't any need to buy 5 or 6 or 12 pads. You just need one pad.
It's a great way to save you some money.
Yeah, and if you want to, still keeping under that $100, you could actually buy all 3 of our pads and still be under $100.
There are a lot of tips out there, Ivan, but one that I think totally makes sense is actually ceramic coat your car.
Right, and a lot of people are afraid to ceramic coat your car. I'm gonna screw it up. No, you're not. If you can wax your car, you can ceramic coat your car. We've also heard it's snake oil. No, it's not snake oil. It actually works. And a lot of people are really concerned that if I put ceramic coating in my car, I'm gonna get water spots. Well, water spots are not caused by the ceramic coating. They're caused by people not using the ceramic coating properly. And 5, 10, 15 years ago, or even 20 years ago, when ceramic coating started, we heard the same line a lot. And unfortunately, it still exists today. You'll never need to wash your car. That's wrong. Or just hose it off, dry it, you'll be good. Again, very wrong. You still need to wash your car. But what a ceramic coating is going to do for you, you're going to need to wash it less often. Saving you time, saving you money. Also, your car looks better. And going back to what we said before, shiny things sell better. So little things like that. But a ceramic coating makes your life easier. You're not going to have to decontaminate it as often. You're not going to have to use a heavy degreaser to remove the traffic film. The rinseless wash or the Incredible Suds will do that perfectly for you. So the ceramic coating saves you time, saves you money. People say, yeah, but a ceramic coating, our 3-year coating at the time of this recording, is $59.
It's $60, you guys. I was just thinking, if money were no object, I would get my whole vehicle paint protection film. You know how many thousands of dollars that would cost?
Right.
And then I would ceramic coat over it.
Exactly.
Right? And that's like the ultimate protection. But I was thinking, as you said that, do I believe in these enough that any car I own will get ceramic coated?
Yeah.
The answer is yes.
Yeah.
The only thing I would do, if money were no option, I would put paint protection film, clear brow, whatever you want to call it, on at least
the front.
The front, right? If I can get the front quarter and the hood and the side mirrors and the front bumper and the headlights, that's great to me because it's great against rock chips.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's what a ceramic, like, rock chips are going to do what they're going to do whether it's coated or not.
Yeah,
right.
No,
but past that, all sales pitches aside, I want a ceramic coating on any vehicle that I own because it's easier to clean.
Yeah.
So that when I do clean it, it's going to come off a lot easier and it's going to stay cleaner longer. Those are just facts.
Yeah, and some things that you've also heard about ceramic coatings. They're scratch proof. Wrong. They're not even scratch resistant. They just help a little bit with marring. So if someone's telling you that, maybe ignore them. But nonetheless, the ceramic coating, $60. But now let's say, but I can buy wax. Of course you can buy wax. But what wax will do is you need to do every 3 months. You need to re-wax every 3 months. So that's time. Time is money. And also, that is product. You're going to go through wax. So if you have like our 8-year coating, you're going to go through a couple bottles of wax to keep it almost as protected as the coating. But something a wax can't do is protect against chemicals. So that bird bomb, that tree sap, or the bugs on the front end, they can etch through a wax like that and also etch through your paint. When it's coated, they're not going to etch through. They're not even going to etch in.
They might etch through the ceramic coating.
Not even.
No?
They'll scar the ceramic coating.
Okay.
But this is something else that people freak out. They got a bird dropping. They left it on a couple days because they didn't notice it or, life gets in the way. They remove it and it's like, put it in the sun. Let it sit for a little while. The coating gets scarred, but it heals that scar over time.
Okay. So it's not a self-healing coating
No.
in the way that we brand it.
No.
But the sun can help.
Yeah, and that's honestly with any ceramic coating. So basically what happens is the ceramic coating, yes, it gets scarred. Just like when you wash a ceramic coated car with all clean or an all-purpose cleaner, the beading goes away. For a couple hours, maybe a day. And the beading comes back because you've shocked that ceramic coating. The coating goes, what are you trying to do to me? That's what the harsh chemical does. But the coating recovers from it. So I won't say self-healing, just recovers from the scarring.
I was just trying to think of anything else I could, and again, we're talking about our products because we really believe in these, but the Legacy Sponge,
Yeah.
I was just thinking of something indestructible, it's going to last a lifetime.
Yeah.
And the Legacy Sponge is meant for rinseless washing, right? It's how we sort of conceived of it. You developed a lot of rinseless sponges over the years. But the thing about the sponge is, you just rinse it underwater at the end of the day. If it's kind of grimy, you could spray some All Clean on there, work it in, and just rinse it out with water, dry it in your bucket on a grit guard. But you can also use it with incredible suds. This thing will just last you forever. I've never seen, I know they do eventually like die, but I've never seen it.
No, they'll eventually wear out, but you'll get hundreds, if not thousands of washes out of a sponge. And people go, yo, but it's so expensive when I can buy a chenille wash mitt for 10 bucks. Well, that chenille wash mitt, you're gonna go through maybe 20 or 30 of them before you go through one sponge.
And I feel like a wash mitt, lands on the ground, and then there's a stick in there, and you're trying to get that out, and by the end of the day, it's just like, okay, this could scratch my paint. That little piece of debris is woven in there now, and it's like, it's hidden, I don't know where it is. These sponges, they're ready for battle.
And microfiber is designed to pick something up and hold on to it really well. It does so greatly. Whereas the sponge is designed to absorb the dirt, and as soon as you touch it to your wash bucket, release that dirt. So there are safety factors built in. Again, saving you time, saving you money.
If folks want to find this Legacy Sponge, there's a product button right at the bottom left part of your screen.
Yeah.
You can find it there. There's so many more tips out there, and if there's a need for another podcast, we'll do it. What questions do you have about all this, folks?
Right, we love answering your questions. If you go back over other videos, go down to the comments section, and you'll see we answer every comment. And that is out of respect for you. You're taking the time to watch our video, you're taking the time to ask that question. All we can do is answer it.
And we actually have a premiere. So it's a way for, if you want to get a live Q&A with Ivan, for example, we're there on the premieres of these videos, Mondays sometimes, but every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday for sure. We're coming out with at least 3 long-form videos a week where we have a premiere and folks can answer, and ask questions in real time.
And another way of getting a hold of us and asking questions is go to our Facebook group. Just search DIY Detail on Facebook. You'll find our group. And our group is almost 50,000 members strong at the time of this recording. And it's a lot of fun. We have no idiots, if I can put it that way. We have no people that are self-righteous, because if we do, they disappear. But basically, there's no question that is too new. There's no such thing as a newbie question in our group, because it's DIY Detail. It's there to help everyone. And there are people that have been detailing as long as I have in the group, and they happily answer people's questions because it's fun. And when you get to a certain age, you want to pass your knowledge on. So, but there's a lot of people that it could be their first detail, and they have an idea that no one else has thought of before, and they share that tip or trick, and it's like, oh, wow, this is great. So just being part of that group can save you money as well.
And if you're in that group and this is your chance to, maybe get inspired a little bit, maybe chime in next time. Answer the question that you see someone ask. If you know the answer, let's all talk to each other, and education never ends.
And if you have a question that you're sort of scared to ask because you think it's too newbie, don't worry about it. And yes, the group has a search feature, but just ask the question. Don't worry about the search feature.
Absolutely. Okay, Ivan LaCroix, this is a pretty good video. I think if they want to learn more about polishing paint, because we kind of gave them a tease, but maybe you want to learn more about our whole polishing system, well, the video for that is right here.